Premier League primetime on tape. Jose, Cyrus, and Andre. And you know that Daveye don't play. In the field, they can talk about it all day. Look, and we moving up. You can try how you want, can't move like us. When it all comes down, they choosing us. And I do gotta say, we don't give a fuck. Premier League primetime, and it's only that. Speak only facts. Say what I want, can't hold me back. Can't hold me back. Premier League primetime, better yet, it's my time. You stay on the sideline. Say what I want, can't hold me back. Premier League primetime.
Hello and welcome back to Premier League Primetime. And one thing that you notice, you're probably thinking, where is your suit? I'm not wearing my suit for a very simple reason. I ordered some test merch and both Sirius and Jose said, yes, sir. They rated it. So, hey, I thought, you know what? Might try something a little bit different. Unlike Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in games, I like to take risks. And also with the team that I've just played with, and unfortunately, we just exited playoffs by a nice cheeky score of 2-0. Unfortunately, we exited that. But the good thing is, with some quality philosophy and some quality players like this person alongside me, the main man from Cathedral, the main man anchoring the back, Mr. Ben. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good to be here, sir. How are you doing?
It is a blessing to have this man on, and for Loyal and Cathedral people watching, I'm gonna hear, I guess Loyal and Cathedral can come together now. We are Cathedral and Loyola. Yes, Loyola and Cathedral are coming together, and I just
temporarily.
Yes, temporarily. Fuck Cathedral, but yeah. That aside, you're probably thinking, what's there to talk about the Premier League? The thing is, it's not really going to be much of a Premier League show, is it? Because what's really on our minds is you look at the international sides and you look at the international breaks, and people are thinking, are you seriously making content on international break? Yes, I am making content on the international break. And if you don't like it, you can just go watch something else, go do something else, go fiddle with some string, go practice putting your shirt on the right way, do anything if you don't like it. But the World Cups feels like it's coming up fast. It feels like it's coming faster. And of course, you have the Africa Cup of Nations coming in January, February time. But you look at some of the teams, some of the big teams that have qualified. You have your Englands and you have your Germanys and Netherlands. Just some based on this predictions. Who do you think could win the World Cup? Who do you think in your predictions is going to win the World Cup, if you have one?
Well, surprisingly, Portugal lost to Serbia 2-1, and unfortunately, Portugal is still yet to qualify, even though they're highly favored with the squad they have right now. Spain, France, Germany, the usuals have done very well, especially Germany absolutely destroying Liechtenstein with, was it 12-0 or something like that?
No, I think it was like 9-0 or something like that.
Some crazy score. Anyway, so all those teams seem to be doing very well, and I think each of them have the potential. So I don't particularly favor one country over the other right now, but I think that the main countries definitely have a shot, especially France and Germany are definitely, and England, of course.
Yeah, I wouldn't throw England into. I mean, being English myself, it's constant heartbreak with England. Always is, always has, always will be.
I know, but I feel like they're getting a little bit better. Like before, it was very inconsistent with England. Especially even up to the Euros of getting knocked out with Iceland, but slowly but surely getting to the semifinal of the World Cup, and then getting to the final of the Euros. England are definitely proving themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I can see exactly what you're saying there in terms of just consistency, and that's something really important. But you pointed out Germany. I know even before this, just even walking back here, you're waffling on about Germany and how and how much they've seemingly impressed. Like just taking a look at Germany and like what's different when you look at them now under Hansi Flick compared to them under Jogi Löw, a new look, a new formation. Besides the manager and philosophy is obviously different. Hansi Flick. I don't think of Hansi Flick. I mean, the man never smiles. The man is up by 8 goals to 2.
He has big expectations.
He's up by 9 goals to 0, and he's still unhappy. You know,
that's how he is. Though.
If Germany win the World Cup, I could see man just going, just literally, just he's literally the exact opposite of Oli. Win, no smile. Lose, no smile. And of course, Oli's like, course, happy, fantastic. Yes, always smiling when they lose. Getting embarrassed, of course. I mean, they're literally like polar opposites. But I mean, Hansi Flick is a great coach, isn't he?
Yeah, he definitely is a great coach, and I think the atmosphere in the dressing room is a big part to play, because I feel that during the 2018 World Cup, the dressing room was really had a lot of tension going on there, especially with the whole Mesut Ozil scandal, and then Cruz saying the opposite, saying, "Oh, there's no such thing as that happening." So I think that was part of the reason why Germany did so poorly in the World Cup.
I agree with that. And also, like, and you look at that World Cup, like, there's a lot of, like, I feel like there's a lot of issues and tension in terms of just having the balance of senior players and the young players coming through.
Definitely.
There's such a lack of the young players in that Germany squad. Like, I mean, I know there's Timo Werner, but when he actually, you know, was firing goals for once in his life. When he was firing them in for RB Leipzig, everyone knows how good he was at RB Leipzig.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, they still had like the Boatengs and
I think Lowe was still thinking that
Mario Gomez.
Yeah, I think he was still thinking the 2014 squad could pull off another amazing performance, but unfortunately it didn't. And I think Germany learned a lesson that time. I
think they also learned a lesson from the Euros as well.
Definitely. But they did put in a good performance against Portugal, for example.
Oh,
they always seem to turn up against Portugal. Germany always seems to turn up against Portugal.
Very true, very true. But I mean, Portugal were very poor on the day. I mean, they weren't particularly impressive against Hungary. Hungary almost won.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Hungary were very unlucky. They were very unlucky. I think Goretzka literally sent them through. If it weren't for Goretzka, I think Hungary would have gone through.
Yeah, no.
They lost to France, but I'd say they were probably the better side.
They were the better side. I agree.
They were the better side. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, it's a France masterclass and whatnot."
Definitely not.
France dominated the game in the opening minutes, and then after they scored, it was just park the bus. And for me, I think the World Cup curse is going to continue, not in the sense that France will get knocked out in the group stages, but I don't think they will not win the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pressure on France to perform, and although there's a lot of pressure to perform because France, I believe, is up par with Brazil 2002 and
really
and 98 in terms of quality in their team.
As of right now, or the World Cup squad?
As of the World Cup squad. I mean, the talent there, I believe, has almost the equality to the Brazil 98-2002 squad.
That's a very bold statement.
I know, but that's what I think.
I think the squad and the players that France have now is better than the squad of 2018. I mean, you look at the 2018 squad; it was a good squad. But I mean, you had people like Nzonzi, whereas now you have someone like Camavinga, and you have and look, Matuidi's a very well respected player, but Matuidi was playing on the left. He's playing like a left mid, and now you have someone like Chumani. One of the best young and upcoming defensive midfielders in world football, I'd say, playing for Monaco, playing very well. Of course, you still have, the world-class striker, Mr. Ice Cold Tony Martial, who can always score when he's 6 yards away from goal. Always very consistent with that. But, I mean, that's a bold statement to make.
But, dude, come on. Like, even up to France's bench, the depth is just there. They have so many options to play.
Then or 2018 you're talking about now?
Right now.
Oh yeah, now they have a lot of options.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They have a lot of options and a lot of players to choose from.
I think Deschamps has lost the plot in terms of what formation he's going to play. It's too inconsistent for me. It's either one game it's a back five, one game it's a 4-4-2 diamond, another game it's a 4-2-3-1. It's too inconsistent. And also one thing I will say, right? Why in gosh's name is Rabiot still in this team? That's my question.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think France has better options than that.
They have far better options than they play Rabiot. Like, I mean, in the Euros, man was playing as a wing back. Come on now. I mean, the man just. I mean, Rabiot.
Put in Mendy.
No. I mean, Rabiot. With his, with his defensive capabilities. Seeing that wing back. Reminded me of another player I know with a certain ponytail and with a certain annoying vibe. Also, I'm pretty annoying voice. I'm not gonna lie. Who also just could not just defend for his life. Rabiot. He's a decent player, but his passing's just gone down. I'm not a fan of Rabiot, and for me, it's like the favorites thing. Like I see Deschamps picking Sissoko over Ndombele. Like how are you doing that?
Yeah, I know.
Like it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. For me, in that situation, right? Picking someone like. Who would I say? Picking someone like Sissoko over someone like a Camavinga, I'd say. That's like picking a certain ponytailed person over a certain clone of Wan-Bissaka. Come on now. It's such a joke. It just made no sense. Sissoko, the man has lost his legs. Like another certain player that I know, also cannot run around on the pitch for their life. Constantly never giving away passes, can't step to the ball for their life at all. Both of them have pretty similar similarities, but it's not good enough. I don't know why he's still in that squad. But moving to some of the who would your opinion be a dark horse for this upcoming World Cup?
Well, unfortunately, dark horses are kind of hard to predict. Because we thought Turkey was going to be the dark horse.
Never thought Turkey was going to be a dark horse of the Euros.
Some people thought
Turkey
was going to be
they had
the
a few good players. They had a few good players
of the Euros, and they flopped. So
expectedly.
Yeah, Serbia has a pretty good squad. Surprisingly. I haven't watched too much of them, but they seem to play decently well. They have that winger. I forgot who he played for.
I know this. I just can't wrap my head around his. Is it Kostic?
Yeah, I forgot who he played.
He plays for Frankfurt. He's a good player.
Yeah, I know.
Good player. He is Kostic. He's a good player. They've Mitrovic.
Yeah.
I can't be bothered with freaking Mitrovic, man. I honestly cannot be bothered. Just his playing style, I'm not a fan of, honestly. But for me, two teams that come into my mind when I think of this dark horses. And for me, it's got to be Denmark and Switzerland.
Yeah, Denmark.
It's got to be Denmark and Switzerland.
Switzerland. I'm hoping to see another tragedy like they pulled off with France, because that was a very interesting twist to the Euros, them defeating France, and I think that's another one of France's problems, is that cockiness. They were clearly dominating the game, and then they let off, and Switzerland capitalized. Yeah, Switzerland.
And I heard people trying to blame Pogba for that game when
he scored that screamer.
He scored the screamer, and then people are saying, "Oh, he's celebrating too early with Kimpembe." They're 3-1 up. It's almost the end of the game. Like what do you want the guy to do? To save Switzerland some time to try and see and help them get a goal. And people are saying on the Switzerland third goal that because Pogba wanted to attack instead of just defend, because they were being pressed in their own half and he wanted to move the ball forward, and because he was the one who tried to make the forward pass but he slipped, people are saying that automatically means he's at fault and everything was his fault. Also, first of all, let's just completely forget the ball. That the ball does play to him. I think it was by Lloris or Kimpembe. I'm pretty sure. There's a man already on his back, and at the same time, Pogba's just that good of a player. He tried to turn and tried to play a forward pass, but he lost the ball in the process. But you're already playing him a bad ball in the first place. You know what I mean?
I also think playing Langley as center back was a mistake as well.
God. Longley.
Even with the first goal that Switzerland scored in the beginning, that was
so many
his
better
fault
options as well. Like
I know
you could have played a back three. Varane, Upamecano, and Koundé.
Yeah, any of those three options are way better than one.
I'd rather have a half-fit Lucas Hernandez play.
Or even Umtiti for that matter.
Ooh, Umtiti, I don't even know. I mean, both of them are not great at all. Not, I mean, how far have those two fallen? Umtiti and Longley, they've fallen so far.
I know, and I think that's part of Barca's downfall as well.
Yeah, I mean, Barcelona is a shambles as it is. I mean, we're not going to talk about just national team football because that gets boring. We'll go across all different leagues. We'll touch on the Premier League at the end, but moving quickly, one team I really wanted to touch on before we'll move into the Liga next was the two finalist sides. How do you think Italy will cope at this World Cup? Do you think they'll do as well as they did in the Euros, or do you think?
Well, I hope they qualify for one thing.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think that was just them being cocky, to be honest.
I think Portugal will qualify. I mean, Portugal had to play a playoff game last time in the I think it was 2014 World Cup, as well as the 2018. I think they did both times and they won the playoff games. I think Portugal will get through, unless if they somehow draw Italy, which I'd be very sad. I want to see both of them in the World Cup.
I know, I hope so too. Especially Ronaldo, I don't want to see him out. I think even as someone who prefers Messi, I also want to see him play.
Definitely. I mean, assuming Italy get into the World Cup, right? I mean, what players would you say are ones to keep an eye on, or players that are just absolute musts at the World Cup for them?
Well, I mean, I think that the age and experience of Chiellini, for example.
Oh yeah, those are everlasting, aren't they?
The old center backs for Juventus.
Yeah, I mean, as Jose Mourinho, yeah, I mean, as Jose Mourinho said, I mean, Bonucci and Chiellini could go to Harvard and teach a class on how on defending. I mean, for me personally, you know, if our Mr. Absolute Fantastic manager of Man United, I'd be sending Harry, world class captain, Victor, and I'd be sending, other than Rafa, I'd be sending the whole squad over there, all the defenders and midfielders to that class. I'd be sending
Luke
all
Shaw.
Luke
Shaw, come on, that guy's defending is terrible. He's never goal side. He's never goal side.
Do you want to know where I'd send Luke Shaw to? I'd send him to a tropical island in Fiji or French Polynesia or Mykonos. The man needs a vacation, man. He's ran into the ground.
Yeah, time to play Alex Telles. Thank you.
Yes, I know. I've been saying it for so long, but you know, but of course, even if Rafa has at least, for me, you're fit if you're balancing on one leg and it is 40%, that means you are fully fit and ready to go and play. So that means every player in the squad is fully fit and ready to go and play. Absolutely fantastic. But enough about him, because I just can't stand him at the moment. Also, Mr. Fantastic out, but of course he's not leaving anytime soon. We know that. Going back to Italy, what players for you? Just looking at the Euros, what players for you really caught your eye? I mean, of course, there's one really obvious one, but
Chiesa, especially.
Chiesa.
That guy is the future of Italy. He is
he's phenomenal.
He's phenomenal with the ball, especially his technical ability is outstanding.
He's giving me nightmares all during the Euros final. I mean, the only person the person who seemingly put him in his back pocket was Luke Shaw. I mean, the man was constantly cutting in on the inside because he didn't want to go on the outside, because if he did, Roberto Carlos was going to put him in his pocket, which more times than none, he actually did. But people still want to say, it's Luke Shaw's fault. It's Luke Shaw's fault.
For the Italy game?
Yeah.
I think Luke Shaw was one of the better players of England.
Luke Shaw's one of the best players in the Euros. He's
Yeah.
arguably the best left back in the Euros. But I'd give it to Spinazzola, because I think Spinazzola was just such a revelation for Italy at left back. I'd actually give it to him. It was unfortunate that he got injured. The man literally got injured because he wanted to get that ball so badly when he didn't need to make that extra extension of his leg, and he ended up tearing it. I mean, he's putting in everything.
That's sad, but definitely Italy. Chiesa, for example, is a great guy. Italy's defense, of course, the old bastards in the back could definitely bring experience and structure to the team as well.
Definitely.
Although Jorginho's overrated, he's still solid player.
I'll say this right about Jorginho. I called him the Italian Marco for years because I don't know what his function was other than scoring penalties. and that was a penalty merchant. Don't tell me that Bruno Fernandes is a penalty merchant.
Okay,
and Jorginho is or wasn't.
I'm not saying
No.
Jorginho isn't a penalty merchant, but Bruno Fernandes is definitely a penalty merchant.
No, the man is not a penalty merchant.
He was for a very good period of time, consistently scoring penalties.
I mean, the man is the penalty taker. I mean, when you want the guy to do like Sky over.
Yeah,
I mean, he did against Villa. He did against Villa and missed against Newcastle, but I mean, those are the only ones that I recall him actually missing in Premier League games.
Well, that was the most recent one of him missing the penalty, and Ronaldo, who's an extremely good penalty taker.
I think he wanted it, but then
if not the best penalty taker.
I think Pogba was like, give it to Bruno. Bruno should take it.
Which is a shame because I think personally Ronaldo is the best penalty taker in the world.
Oh wow, that's actually pretty ambitious or pretty audacious to say, but
I don't think so because Ronaldo for a very long period of time has shown he's capable of making it under pressure constantly.
Oh yeah, and also I mean you're up against one of the most shithouse goalkeepers, Emi Martinez. I mean that's just
hey, that dude performed.
He did perform. I mean I'll say this right now. Yerry Mina, where's the dance from Yerry Mina? Remember?
Yeah.
Yerry Mina getting all cocky. I like even rewatching it. It makes me laugh. Just this, you could tell he's getting eaten alive as he's running up to take that. Emi Martinez is eating him up all day long. But,
oh yeah, it's just the classic South American shithousery that we see.
It all sees. But the last nation I did want to get to, my team, my own nation. I know it's not coming out because it hasn't come out since 1964, England. There's so many exciting players to watch, so many guys to keep an eye on. What do you think are going to be Gareth Southgate's biggest problems regarding like players to bring, team selection? What do you think his biggest problems are going to be?
Well, before there was a lot of debate over the right back, for example, the right back position.
I think there still is debate over the right back position.
I personally, as someone who enjoys watching Liverpool, I'm kind of biased towards Trent. I think that guy is excellent in, providing assists and whatnot. And I think that's a little bit of what Wan-Bissaka is lacking is connecting with the.
Well, Wan-Bissaka's never going to play for England. I mean, he's a right back, so I mean that in and of itself, he's never going to play for England. There's so many right backs that Gareth Southgate likes and prefers to Wan-Bissaka. I mean, Trent's an amazing right back, but he's Wan-Bissaka's core opposite. I mean, he goes forward very well, but the man cannot defend for his life.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have Trippier, you have Reece James.
Trippier is excellent for Atletico Madrid as well. He is a little bit more well-rounded, although he's not as good as in the attack as Trent. I think he's a little bit more well-rounded. I haven't watched enough of Reece James to say anything, but definitely Trippier is a great option.
Yeah, Trippier is a good option. I mean, Kyle Walker for me. Kyle Walker's in that squad regardless.
Oh my God, Kyle Walker! It's just England has so many options to play at right back, for example.
I mean, for me, if you ask me, I think a big debate's going to be the goalkeeping situation. Yeah. I mean, I know I'll most likely go with Pickford because Pickford always turns into prime David Seaman whenever he plays for England every time.
Yeah, but do you think that the Man United substitute goalkeeper is better?
No, there's another goalkeeper that'll play over either of them.
Who?
Ramsdale.
Where does he play?
Aaron Ramsdale went to Arsenal from Sheffield.
Oh yeah,
he's been phenomenal.
He's had a good run. Yeah,
he's
I agree.
Excellent. For me, he's England's best goalkeeper. He's young.
Great game against Leicester, definitely.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, no.
Peter Schmeichel even pointed out, and if one of the greatest goalkeepers that's ever played the game points out, then he's got.
Oh, that's a little bit of a stretch. One of the greatest.
Peter Schmeichel's one of the greatest goalkeepers that's ever played in the game. That's factual.
He was world class. Yeah, no, he was world class.
He's one of the greatest. For me, he's right up there with the Casillas's and your Buffons. He's right up there.
I don't know. I'd put him more. I might favor Van der Sar. I like Van der Sar a lot, though.
I like Van der Sar. But for me, Peter Schmeichel is, especially being a Man United fan myself. And look, I love Van der Sar, but I mean, for me personally, I think I think
Yeah, well, Peter Schmeichel is one of the best ever.
He definitely is. Well, I mean, right, and before we shift away to the Liga, another really, really big debate. I mean, for me, for England, I mean, you look at their attacking options. So you will take the strikers out of it. You know, Harry Kane will probably go, and Calvert-Lewin, and I mean, they'll probably go. I mean, Southgate loves Calvert-Lewin. He loves him. And look,
What about Bedford?
No, I'd still prefer Calvert-Lewin. I think Southgate would as well. If for the World Cup squad, you only had 3 spots left, and they were all for your attacking midfielders. Oh my gosh, you look at the options that you have.
The attacking midfielders?
Grealish, Foden, Mount, Emil Smith-Rowe.
Yeah, Greenlish. Yeah, Greenlish is amazing.
Jesse Lingard.
Okay, Lingard, I don't think he's good enough to be in a starting position.
Gareth Southgate loves Jesse Lingard.
I know he loves him, but come on. Personally, what I think is that either Mount, Foden, or Greenlish has to be starting ahead of Lingard. I think they're better options.
If 3 of them go out of the 5, which 3 are you bringing?
Those 3.
You'd leave Emil Smith-Rowe?
Yeah, personally, that's what I'm sure.
Yeah. And also the wingers. Ooh. But I'll bring in the same scenario, right? You can only bring all this like 7, and there's 4 spots.
Go ahead and name a few.
Sterling, Rashford, Bukayo Saka. You have. I'll throw Mason Greenwood in there. And
Sancho.
Yeah, Jadon Sancho's another. I'll even throw Emil Smith-Rowe into this one as well because a man's playing on the wing. I'll actually throw Grealish in here because Grealish is more winger as well. He plays out wide for Man City more times than none.
I don't think he's that good at it as a winger as he is in the central position now. Me personally.
Grealish, that's interesting. I mean, you have so many options on the wings. I mean, it's crazy, honestly. There's so many good options. I mean, of those names I listed there, and you can only bring, I'll say 4. I'll say 4 of them.
Yeah, I'd probably choose Sterling, Rashford. Oh, what about Saka?
Yeah, I mentioned Bukayo Saka. I love the kid. He's phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little bit skeptical about Saka due to his experience.
But I mean,
him being so young because
he performed in Euros. I know it was the penalty miss, but if you look at his actual performances, he showed he played really well for England. I mean, Southgate at a certain point preferred him to Jadon Sancho to start.
Yeah, I personally feel like he's a better option right now over Jadon Sancho because Jadon Sancho just is not performing right now.
I mean, Jadon Sancho is just not getting game time at the moment. But if it was down to 4 wingers, for me personally, from my own personal point of view, for me it's very simple, very easy for me. Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, Bukayo Saka, and Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, you got to choose.
Raheem Sterling is.
He was phenomenal
in Euros. He was England's first player, and they gave it to Calvin Phillips. And I like Calvin Phillips, but the fact that I got England Player of the Year, I think that was a robbery.
I know.
The one position I do worry, right?
I think Calvin Phillips is overhyped, to be honest.
I think Calvin Phillips
he was extremely good. He was extremely good, but then England fans realized how good he was and then said, "Oh, he's the next Pirlo." Come on now.
And honestly, I think because of the overhyping, I think that took a lot of the limelight and attention away from Declan Rice, and he's shown.
Oh, Declan Rice! Oh my God, Declan Rice is amazing.
He's one of the best defensive midfielders in world football right now.
Next season he's going to get transferred to a bigger club. I feel it.
A club is. He still has a good 2-3 years on his contract left. He's going nowhere, according to David Moyes.
Yeah.
If wants to buy him out, David Moyes said, the $100 million bargain for Declan Rice is now gone. That shows how much he's going to.
West Ham,
he's English. So.
I know, but I feel like West Ham really have to prove himself this season in order for him to stay because I feel like he's trying to show like he was trying to go to a bigger club. Just me personally.
If West Ham somehow win the Europa League,
I think they're one of the favorites to be
if
honest.
West Ham win the Europa League, they're a Champions League side.
I know. Then I believe Declan Rice will stay.
Declan Rice, especially if he's playing for West Ham in the Champions League, he's going nowhere. He's going absolutely nowhere for me. No way in hell will he go. But I think the real problem with England for me, it's definitely at the back. When you look at
Really?
I mean, in terms of just like, let's assume England play it back four, right?
Yeah.
Stones, Maguire, and Gareth Southgate. You already know who the two backups are. And for me, it's like having a certain two players on our own team at center back. Either of them. I mean, they can't move. And look, respect to Mings and Cody. I think they're good Premier League center backs for the respective clubs that they play for, Villa and Wolves. But they're so slow. And when you have the likes of, also was baffled when you have Ben White and you have or Benjamin White, Benjamin White, and you have Kyle Tomori playing excellently for their two clubs, and you call it favorites. I mean, isn't that concerning?
Yeah, I know. I mean, a big problem. I feel that even the center backs at times were shown to be a little shaky, even the starter ones. So definitely something to look out for is England's defense.
Definitely 100%. Well, we'll now shift over to La Liga. We're just going to cover leagues across Europe, not just the Premier League. We'll cover all sorts of leagues. Well, we'll go to La Liga. Barcelona. I know you're a big Barcelona guy. Barcelona appointing Xavi. Are you excited about this, or are you missing Ronald Koeman and playing Luke de Jong up front and Frankie de Jong at center back? Or cheeky front two of Luke de Jong and Goatley.
Oh God. Yeah, no, I am excited. I do not. I still think that is the worst the worst transfer in history is loaning Griezmann, which you paid 120
for
like 120 million
30,
for,
and a buy option for the price at 40 million.
You loaned him off to your rival team when you bought him for 100 million, and then you bring in Luke de Jong, who did not even start for Sevilla and who hasn't had a decent performance since the Europa League final.
Or his most notable performance, Europa League semifinal against. I wonder what center back do. I wonder what certain center back do. Made him look like prime R9 with some of the goals he was scoring. I wonder what center back. Or what center back, was literally looking the other damn way when you literally went right in for a top thing. And I wonder, what center back to on his second goal, or what center back, didn't communicate to the right back that he was coming in and completely just more or less put him in, at least literally just put him in the mud. And Luke de Jong scoring. And then I remember him and a certain Portuguese playmaker calling him out, saying, "What are you doing?" And he was not happy with it. But yeah, I'm if I keep talking, it'll give me PTSD if I bring that up for me. But Xavi, does Xavi give you Arteta vibes or Pep vibes? Or both?
Well, a lot of people think that Xavi is the sort of it went from Cruyff to Pep Guardiola, and now Pep Guardiola to Xavi, and it's finally Xavi's turn to finally get the torch. I mean, he did coach the team from Qatar, but Al-Sadd, but is that really as much experience as, like, for example? Yeah, because what we saw with Frank Lampard was that guy didn't really, or even Pirlo, for example. Pirlo was named and got smashed because from the
former player,
performance, legend, and you think, oh well, he'd be the perfect replacement.
If Xavi hadn't played for Barcelona, he would have been nowhere near his job.
Yeah, I mean, probably he would have to work his way up. But you saw some like silly, nice TikTok video of Xavi doing Xavi masterclass of Al-Sadd, just like passing it around and then scoring a goal. But yeah, I think this is really a test of Xavi's potential and
It's a massive. You have to say it's a massive gamble.
it is a gamble. But Barca did the same thing when they appointed Pep Guardiola, who also at the time did not have that much experience. He did a little bit in Barcelona B, but come on now.
Let's look at the sides that they inherited. Pep Guardiola was inheriting, just an average side. I mean, you had some average players like Eto'o and Messi and Ronaldinho and Henry. I mean, Iniesta and Xavi are brought through. You're pretty average players. Dani Alves, Victor Valdez, Puyol. You're all pretty average.
One of the best teams ever.
One of the best teams ever. This 21-22 Barcelona side that Xavi's inheriting with world-class players like Luke de Jong and
okay,
Martin
I think that's enough. But yeah, definitely, Xavi is more of a test.
Dembele, who has a very, very good injury record. He's always fit and ready to play, ready to go.
Thank you.
But yeah, come on, you got to look at the difference.
And Ter Stegen's out of form.
Oh yeah, wonderful. Yeah, I mean that's a Barca need. You're just another player out of form, especially one of the most crucial ones, the most consistent ones.
I know.
That's never been a problem.
And I think Neto's injured now. Yeah, Neto's injured. Yeah.
So what time you need Neto?
Yeah, no, Xavi definitely has a challenge up ahead, but yeah, it's going to definitely be a huge test for him, and I just hope he doesn't get his legacy as a legend at the club ruined like maybe Pirlo does, or even Ole. Who,
I was about to say.
Yeah, Ole and Ronald Koeman's statuses as legends of their clubs totally got destroyed during their managing career, or at least now that.
And I think with the Manchester, I think most fans know with Mr. Absolutely Fantastic. I mean, they'll always see him as a legend as a player. But as a manager, I think he's just known. I think the fans who think rationally about it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that there's a decent amount of people who are just fanboys. They're just like, as soon as you just like destroy the name as soon as you see them fail.
Pretty much. Shifting over to a team that has been looking good this season. Real Madrid's been looking very good.
Yeah,
this season.
Real Madrid has been looking very consistent.
Two players for me up front have been there by far.
Yeah, Vinicius and Benzema. No.
Oh really? No. I was talking about Hazard and Bale.
Oh, injured.
With their world-class injury records.
Is Bale injured now too again?
Man's always injured.
I didn't even know if he was injured.
Either they're injured or playing golf. It's one of those two.
Yeah,
but I was about to say Hazard again. Benzema and Vinicius. How especially Vinicius? How good has he been? What have you noticed has changed within Vinicius, because he just looks totally different.
I think consistency was the biggest thing. That Vinicius played really good games, but it was just super inconsistent. Like he'd play absolute garbage, like a decent amount of the time, and then there's a time where he was like really good. You see him like, oh, this guy is the heir to the Ronaldo throne, the next Neymar, this and that, and then he goes back to his old ways. But I think under Ancelotti, you're really seeing consistency with him, consistently scoring goals and consistently showing that he's one of the upcoming stars in the world of football.
I definitely think so. And how on earth does Tite not give that man a call up?
Yeah, no,
I am baffled.
I'm really questioning that over Coutinho. I mean, he chose Coutinho over Vinicius, and Coutinho just refuses to play for Barcelona.
I see that very similar to why Southgate picked Lingard. I think 32 international breaks in a row when he was just a sporadic player at Manchester United over some of the likes of or other players that were actually performing, like Emil Smith Rowe. I see and understand that it's players that he trusts. Tite, I think Tite really, really likes Coutinho.
Yeah.
Tite definitely likes Coutinho.
Coutinho had a really good 2019 Copa America, though. I think he thinks he can possibly recreate that. And, as much as I think Coutinho's biggest problem is just that, like, he doesn't fit in with a lot of teams. He doesn't fit in with Barca at all. I think that's a problem.
Everyone thought he did. I think the thing is, I think if Luis Enrique had been there and Coutinho had come in, I think, and they gotten Coutinho early, I don't think Neymar would have left.
My biggest thing with Coutinho at Barca was that, and you saw in the beginning, he was really good, but the problem was he was playing like winger. Why was he playing? This is not his natural position.
Because Jurgen Klopp's, because apparently people think that the way that Jurgen Klopp plays his wingers is the same as to Ernesto Valverde's way of playing.
I know, and a lot of people criticize Ernesto Valverde's way of, or just football in general. He thought he smothered the name of Tiki Taka, and that's why it's dead now. Even though we never lost, we constantly won the La Liga title. There was never any competition, and we always won los clásicos. So yeah, I mean, it's a shame to see the state that Ernesto Valverde is in, but I do think it was a mistake on his part to continue the way he did.
Yeah. A couple more questions about Real Madrid before we we'll shift over to Serie A. We'll travel to Italy next.
All right.
I mean, for me, one big new signing for them so far, David Alaba.
Oh, yeah,
he said he's had a largely good life to start at.
I know. I was surprised. I thought that like after leaving Bayern, it would be sort of his decline. That Real Madrid at this current time isn't as big of a club as Bayern is, and I thought it'd be more like a downgrade, and then he'd start in form.
Okay, yeah.
In form, and he's starting to go down, and I thought he would just like be.
It's very similar to the Hazard deal.
Yeah, irrelevant, I guess you can say. But he's definitely performing, especially the El Clasico game was an excellent performance.
Yeah, lockdown, and yeah, he had a really good performance.
Yeah, really good performance.
And last Real Madrid player. Before I ask you a quick question on Barca, I really got to say I feel very, very, very nervous for what's his name? Federico Valverde. Please, I hope I got that right.
Oh, yeah.
Valverde, the Uruguayan. He's just not been playing at the moment.
Yeah, I know. I think that.
I don't know if he's injured or whatnot.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. But one more thing I will say about Alaba, I do think he is the heir to
Ramos.
Yeah, to Ramos, and I think that was the major problem after Ramos.
I don't think so.
When Ronaldo, I mean not Ronaldo. What am I saying? Ramos. When Ramos was injured, they played Militao, and Militao was definitely not as good as Ramos was, and Ramos was a leader in that team.
I think we saw Varane as the main heir to Ramos, but
Varane's not a leader. That's the problem, and I think David Alaba really took on that leadership role that that Sergio Ramos was, and that really filled in the gap that
Varane won a World Cup. He anchored that defense.
I don't think he's a leader, though. I do not think.
Well, not in the sense of name of Sergio Ramos, but
no. But the thing is that when you're a center back, there's one guy who takes more of the lead than the other,
that's
and I think that
you're saying it yourself. So
I think Varane was more of the sort of side co-captain rather than the captain of the ship, and I think that Varane was just never capable enough of being the captain of the ship.
Yeah, fair enough. But I mean, when you're playing next to someone like Ramos, you get pretty accustomed to that.
Yeah.
I mean, you go from playing with someone like Sergio Ramos, who's won every trophy that every trophy in Spain and world honors European honors that you can name.
Euro, World Cup, Champions League, La Liga, Copa del Rey, Supercopa.
To playing, in terms of the center back that he's played with most of Man United, to playing with Victor Lindelof. And I'll just leave it at that before I go on a rant about Victor the Freezer Lindelof. Because the man freezes like a certain player that you and I know all the time, literally every time. But one last question before we go to Italy.
Yeah,
in terms of the next Barca game, what are the chances that we will see Gerard Piqué complain to the referee, Luke de Jong miss a sitter, and Martin Gothwaite score screamer from the top of the 18?
That is very likely. Actually, I don't know about. I thought Gothwaite was injured.
Oh wait, is he?
Yeah, he's injured.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I really hope that De Jong does not play. I don't know if De Jong's injured, there's like you can fit up a whole starting 11 of injured Barca players. That's how bad of a situation.
And you know what's funny? Dembele's not one of them. that's the best part. Dembele's not even one of them. But going to Italy, what do I have to say about Juventus, man? Like everyone thought Allegri's back, Juve are back, but Ronaldo's gone.
Yeah, I mean,
people are saying good riddance of Cristiano Ronaldo, but Juve are.
They still haven't gotten back their form, and they still haven't gotten back their form. In the,
Ronaldo paper over the cracks all last season with goals he was scoring.
I know, but I also think part of the reason why the downfall of Juventus is due to Ronaldo, because they spend 100 million on him instead of buying, like actually filling in the cracks. They rather just cover with Ronaldo, a superstar, when I think that was a mistake.
But I think they needed someone to score goals because Gonzalo Higuain was just not at all.
I never. The problem was more of, Chiellini was getting old and the midfield was starting to show gaps. I'd never really seen that much of a problem. Although Juventus' strikers have been a little bit inconsistent, like Dybala's been inconsistent. I think
the man's not a true striker.
I know, but like the striking force is what
Yes.
I mean. But Chiesa, Dybala,
Kulusevski.
Bernardeschi
is still playing at Juventus. I have no idea how.
But one thing is for certain is that Juventus have been consistent in the Champions League, though.
You have to say they have been. They've topped their group.
Yeah, they're reminding me a little bit of, Real Madrid 2016-17, where they were not very good in La Liga in terms of consistency, but they continued time and time again.
They won the league in 16-17. Yeah, they did. They won the league. They won the cup double.
Oh no, shit!
15-16.
Yeah, 15-16 is when they won the.
Yeah, they won the Champions League.
Yeah, but they didn't do very well in the league. But yeah, and they destroyed it like every top team. So I think it's giving me that sort of vibe. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. We'll come on to these last teams in Italy. You look at, AC Milan look very good right now.
Yeah, AC Milan.
Phenomenal. Inter Milan, now, they have shattered some expectations I had. I thought they were going to be crippled when they got rid of Lukaku and brought in Dzeko.
Yeah, but Dzeko
he's been performing.
He's been performing. I'm surprised. And
him and Lautaro, it seems like that.
Lautaro, yeah.
Lautaro Martinez he's a phenomenal.
He is a phenomenal player. And
brilliant, isn't he?
I'm really excited to see him at the World Cup.
Yeah, I definitely am as well. But I think the one team that's fallen off is Roma. And I said this. I'm
not saying. I wouldn't say fallen off, but
in terms of form, it's what always happens.
It looks like the same form.
What always happens when Jose Mourinho first comes in and takes over a club?
He dominates, and then he loses the locker room, and then it falls apart.
There you go.
That's the basic.
It's always there's a massive bounce with Jose Mourinho. He gets results. Mourinho's back. Jose's
special one.
Special one is back. Technical genius. I brought in my guys like Tammy Abraham, but all I see that striker do every time he gets a foul, I see him pray. That's all he does is pray. Henrik, I decided to give him another chance after he was very, very bad for me at Manchester United. Chris Smalling, I came in, I was like, oh
yeah, I forgot Chris Smalling played for Roma.
We have Smalling, more like Smaldini, world class center back, very, very, very good, very good. And don't worry, I'll be back. Special one is coming back again. But Jose Mourinho. Everyone thought he would last 2 years at Tottenham. He only lasted a year and a half, or a little more than a year and a half.
But I also think that the board did not back Mourinho enough during that time.
You're at Roma. This club does not have a whole lot of money. You cannot expect. The one thing I'm shocked at, right, is that he made it very clear he wanted Granit Xhaka at Roma. It was very clear. Roma wanted Xhaka. Arsenal said they wanted 20 million. Roma were like, no, we can only stomp up like 13 to 15.
That was stupid. That was so stupid.
And at the end of the window, they go and splash 40 million pounds on Tammy Abraham when they already had brought a striker in.
Yeah,
Mourinho's guy. I forgot his name, but a good player, very good player. They already brought him in for a good amount of money. but then they splashed 40 million pounds on Tammy Abraham. But I mean, Tammy Abraham for the most part has been performing. Can't really say he hasn't.
Yeah, but it's a little bit concerning Roma's performance in the Europa League.
Oh yeah, on the Conference League. Oh, conference in Europa League. Just hearing the songs going from the champions, and now on
the
Thursday,
conference.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm pretty much stuck on Thursdays when there's no football to watch. I'm stuck hearing the I'm bored of hearing. It's so boring. I honestly cannot stand it. It bores the death out of me. But anything else about Serie A before we hop lastly over to the Bundesliga before we go into some Premier League predictions for this week and wrap up the show?
Nothing that much. I mean, I think you covered up most of the bases.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, hey, let's go to France, but we'll just skip France. There's just no
skip
point.
France.
But Germany, I mean, Bayern's doing their thing. I mean, isn't really even. I mean, isn't even really like. I mean, should I even be going over Germany? Actually, wait, no, I should be because, RB Leipzig, they've sort of caught my eye.
Yeah.
In the sense that they've always been like the third team, but they dipped in recent years. But
yeah, they're making a comeback.
it seems that Jesse Marsch seems like he knows what he's doing. He seems like he has. I mean, one player that stood out for me, Christopher Nkunku. Oh my gosh, what a player!
Yeah, I mean, obviously Leipzig. I thought they would fall off after Werner left, but they're definitely showing that they still have quality in that team.
They definitely do. I mean, they brought in Danny Olmo.
Oh yeah, Danny Olmo. That was a mistake from Barca. Absolute mistake.
I mean, the man wanted to play. I mean, he wasn't going to get that playing time. Barca went to Dinamo Zagreb in Croatia, built up a name for himself, then attracts attention from RB Leipzig.
Yeah, and now he's one of the key players in Spain's team as well.
Definitely, 100%. I mean, that sums it up because I mean, there's a point of going and talking about France or this isn't. I mean, for me, I mean, I guess we'll go right into Premier League predictions.
Okay.
For Matchday 12, Leicester hosting Chelsea. Ooh,
oh wow, that is going to be. I think that's that and
I really fancy the time it's at too. Yeah. I really fancy the time.
Are you going to get up at that time? 4:30 to watch the game?
Get up at 4:30.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. But that and the Liverpool Arsenal game are the two probably best games
of the weekend. Definitely. But in terms of what are your predictions for Leicester and Chelsea?
That is a difficult one to say, but I think that I'm thinking a 2-2 draw, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, this morning I was on Football Fan TV, and I was asked all my predictions for there, and I said Chelsea will win 2-1. I just think they've been playing so well, even without the injuries. I mean, they still have Havertz. I mean, they have Havertz, Pulisic back. They have Mount, Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi. I mean, even without Werner and Lukaku, you still have options there. I mean, for Christ's sake, I mean, they played Ross Barkley in that position. Ross Barkley is still alive and playing for Chelsea. I know some people just forgot, but he's still playing for Chelsea. And even more surprisingly, him and Loftus-Cheek are in the team sheet ahead of Saul Niguez on loan from Atletico Madrid. Even more surprisingly.
But I also think that Chelsea have these weird like moments where they play like complete garbage, and that Mendy, for example, has to save them. Yeah, bails them out. So and Leicester do come back after they've been on a losing streak as well. So it should be interesting to see.
Yeah, that's my prediction for that game. Newcastle and Brentford. Newcastle, brand new manager, and Eddie Howe.
Oh yeah.
Brentford, Thomas Frank's been killing it since he's coming. I know they've been in a poor run of form. They've lost the last 5 games, but Thomas Frank just looks like honestly the man looks like the coolest manager in the Premier League at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, the man is just rocking on the touchline, isn't he? I mean, the man is drippy on the touchline. I mean, man is so fashionable. I mean, who wouldn't want to be Thomas Frank right now? I think like I think it's not only Brentford fans. I think like the entire world football fan base is behind him. Everyone, he seems like a really likable guy. Have you been impressed with him since he's come in?
Yeah, I'm definitely impressed with Brentford's performance. Really causing upsets like against Arsenal and Liverpool, for example.
Definitely. And your gosh, sake, Manchester United's playing Brentford. I'm scared. I'm petrified. Absolutely scared, petrified of that. But what do you think will be the score of this game, Brentford and Newcastle?
I'm gonna have to go with Brentford, to be honest. I think Brentford's gonna win probably 1-0. So
Yeah,
it's not gonna be that big.
I said 1-1, because I think the new manager bounce will get Newcastle up and going.
But there is a possibility of a bad start with the manager.
Yeah, there definitely is. And the appointment was very underwhelming in terms of looking at the names that they were linked with. Next, Burnley hosting Crystal Palace. I've been so impressed with Crystal Palace. Burnley's been in good form too, but Crystal Palace for me has just been one of the most impressive teams in the Premier League season.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, who are you saying for this game?
I'd also go with Crystal Palace as well.
I predict Crystal Palace will win this 1-2-0. They've been on a habit of winning these games by 2-0 anyways. Next, Aston Villa hosting Brighton. Two teams kind of not really looking great in form, but of course Aston Villa, of course, with their brand new manager, number 8, former Liverpool captain, Steven Gerrard, going from Rangers. I'm gonna bring the Liverpool mates with me to Villa.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a test of Steven Gerrard's capability as a manager.
I think that's great stuff for him. I think it's a perfect fit for him.
It is a perfect fit for him to test out, because I think although Rangers had a little bit of a difficult spell in the Scottish Premier League,
he broke that.
Yeah, he broke that,
and the Celtic winning streak.
Yeah, so
and in that league they were undefeated. He dominated that league season. It wasn't just a win, but he dominated.
I know, and he really dominated. And I think that's a perfect fit for him to get a real test in the Premier League, and then hopefully move up to teams like Liverpool.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think everyone knows. I mean, it's very clear that when you're in club teams, they're gonna want to bring in Steven Gerrard.
Yeah, it makes the
he's definitely going to be the man for like the next 5. He's going to be the man for like the next 10 years once he gets more experience.
I don't know about 10, but like definitely 5 years if they do well enough.
Yeah, but I mean, I predicted Aston Villa win, but just narrowly.
Yeah,
because Brighton have been decent this season.
I would agree with Aston Villa.
Yeah. Next, Watford against Manchester United, and people thought it was crazy having confidence, but it's Watford. It's Watford. How Mr. Fantastic has survived this far. When he should have been sacked 8. Last season after the Europa League final, but after the recruitment, I said, okay, you know what, I'll see what the manager makes, and the manager never had this level of quality players. I'll see, I'll see if there's levels of progression. If there's levels of progression, then okay, fine, I'll live with it. But if there's not, go. He needs to be gone.
Yeah, regardless of what happens during the season, I think that if Ole doesn't come with a trophy, he has to leave regardless. I mean, there's no more excuses about the team. This team is by far the best Manchester United team we've seen since the Fergie days almost.
That's 100%. I agree with that 100%. There's no excuses. Yes, you could say, I don't have my defensive midfielder, but you saw plenty of solutions that you could use, and he's simply not used.
Or even Van de Beek. Come on.
Who? Wait. I know it's this random Dutch kid. I don't really know who he is. But I don't think Mr. Fantastic knows who he is either. But I mean, for me, he lives. I think this is my thing. I think the Glazers are thinking, okay, if most of the results are positive, it'll be another 3 games. I think they're doing increments in 3 games. And the next 3 games, Watford, Chelsea, and Arsenal. Anything less than 3 points against Watford, out. If you can't get 3 points against Watford, then you should not be in charge against Chelsea. You should not be in charge against Arsenal. You should.
I know, but that's the problem, is that when they play against Chelsea or Arsenal and Ole's job is on the line, he turns it around as always.
Well, his job was someone on the line against City. and they still got obliterated.
Well, I think people were temporarily blinded after the 3-0 win against Tottenham.
I'll be honest, I don't think anyone's blinded by that. I think they were happy in the moment that they won.
Well, yeah,
but they already knew what
not
happened.
blind, but more happy in the moment. Yeah.
I mean, look, I was happy in the moment. I mean, watch my post-match review on GGMU TV. I mean, I was happy we got the win.
Mm-hmm.
But don't think in the back of my mind, I already knew where Antonio Conte was going to go after that game. Antonio Conte was probably watching this game thinking, whichever club loses, that's the club I'm going to.
I know.
I mean, it's very simple as that. I mean, for me, I predicted Manchester United will win this game by it's going to be a 1-0 or 2-1.
You're predicting Man United?
Yeah, I think.
Probably.
It will be a very slim win.
Probably.
Yeah. Next, I'd say the most impressive team in the league this season. Wolves hosting West Ham. I know Wolves have been in good form, but I think West Ham is so impressive.
West Ham is.
I think West Ham will win this game 3-1.
Yeah, after defeating Liverpool and like the spell that they've had so far, they've just shown to be the superior side.
100%. Next, Southampton against Norwich. Norwich with a new manager, Dean Smith, but Southampton will still win. And with all due respect to Norwich, I think it'll be 1-0 game.
I know. Probably. I feel bad for Norwich though.
Norwich, it's just a cycle, isn't it? With them?
Yep.
Doing not good enough for the Premier League, way too good for the Championship. Liverpool and Arsenal. Now, for me, I think this game will actually end 2-2.
I think it's going to be a draw, to be honest.
Both teams in good form at the moment. Next, Man City and Everton. I think this will be.
Wait, you said good form after Liverpool lost to West Ham?
Bar that game, Liverpool have been in very good form.
I know, but
bar that game, Liverpool have been in very good form.
The ref of that game, did you not see that?
I know, but bar that game, Liverpool have been in very good form.
I know, Liverpool have been in good form. I mean, after defeating Man United and Atletico back-to-back, that was very impressive. But
well, playing against a fridge and a freezer isn't really a challenge for anyone, is it? It's not that much of a challenge, is it? Two players on our team could play against a fridge and a freezer.
I know, but I definitely think if Liverpool,
one of them will probably still mishit the ball, and the other one will probably we'll use their Thomas Partey-esque shooting, and we'll just blaze it well wide and over the goal. Like
only in the pug goals,
Oh, don't get me started.
No, but one more thing about Liverpool is that if they seriously want to contend for the title, they really need to get back on the front foot after that loss.
They definitely do, 100%. But Man City and Everton. I predict Man City will win this game back 3-1. And Everton's defense is absolutely
maybe
shambolic.
not just 3, because usually when Man City wins, it's always just a steamroll of like 5.
Well, 3's based. 3's bare minimum.
Yeah,
Everton's defense is absolutely shambolic. It's right up there with how awful Man United's defense has been. I look at Everton's defense, right? Our center back is literally the epitome of Michael Keane and Mustafi. Just clumsy and just can't get out on the pitch. The right back, James Coleman, admirable servant, but the man seems to have lost his touch. I guess it'd be harsh comparing, those two in a sense, but both just look like, they're really just, losing the plot there. And unfortunately, since Alan's injured, it's Takuri that's injured. Alongside Alan, you have Tom Davies, who like a certain midfielder that I know, can't touch a ball and can't shoot for his life. So I don't see any way that there's no hope for Everton for me. Lastly, and certainly not least, before we end the show, Tottenham hosting Leeds.
Oh yeah,
this will be an interesting one.
I'm one of those people who've kind of lost faith in Bielsa. As far as like the initial hype was that Bielsa was the greatest manager of all time, and that Leeds are going to somehow go.
The greatest manager of all time. What?
Yeah. Some people were thinking that, okay?
Oh, no.
I did not believe this at all.
I know you didn't, but I know.
And that Leeds were somehow going to win the title as well. So, yeah, no, I think Leeds is sort of an average team of the Premier League.
That's because the championship is the exact same as the Premier League. Of course, because the championship is an exact replica of the Premier League.
Definitely.
That's like saying Bielsa's, is saying Bielsa's the greatest manager. Is like, taking a certain soccer league at a certain school, making like a best 11 of the season and putting a certain right back and a certain defensive midfielder in there. Like come on now, just eat absolute nonsense rubbish. And look, I rate Bielsa as a coach, but come on now.
Yeah, no, I like Bielsa, but he's overrated. Tottenham, this is a real test of Conte as a manager of Tottenham, and I hope he does well because I like him a lot.
I do like Antonio Conte, but I do not like Tottenham Hotspur. Although Tottenham are good, although I think Tottenham will be a much better side. I think Antonio Conte fits Tottenham more than he fits Manchester United.
Yeah,
I've always said this with Conte. I would have loved for Conte to come in just because I think Conte would have given the side a massive kick up the backside because he expects nothing but the very top and the very best. He's a winner. That man goes to clubs to win. He's not going to finish fourth place. He's not going to win an FA Cup. He goes to win. To win things. I know those people are going to say, it's the same as Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho's sell by date was gone. Antonio Conte for me is something totally different, entirely different for me. But I think Tottenham will just win this 2-1. I think Rafinha will do the best he can and will carry Leeds as he has been all season, and along with the Welsh Sonic the Hedgehog, Daniel James, who actually now looks more and excuse my language, he looks more than just a fucking roadrunner, because that's what the man was. He was perfect for Mr. Fantastic, run around a lot, good vibes, passion. Of course, we have J-Mo on the right wing ahead of Jaden, and can run 96 pace. Okay, good vibes, tenacity, good energy. Oh, what a team we have there! Yes, what a team! Yes. Imagine if J-Mo were still here, we have Harry, Victor, we have Scotty, Freddie, both all very good players, and overplaying Rashid, my favorites, and over putting too much pressure on Bruno and Ronnie. Oh, and if J-Mo were still, that'd be the team of the dreams. Yes, J-Mo. But no, Daniel James looked all right, but 2-1 Tottenham for me. What's your prediction?
Yeah, I think Tottenham's going to win.
Yeah. And you know what? That'll do it because looking at the time, it's so late. And honestly, and you know what? I have an essay, and I don't feel like doing an essay at all. But fortunately, some things have to be done. But anyways, thank you for watching. If you like this installment of the Ben and Daveye show, please smash the like, let us know, and please get my channel to 100 subs. Come on now. I mean, my channel has been lingering around for gosh knows how long. I've seen channels start like this season, and they already have like 100 more subscribers. So please just help man. Now, I'm not saying I'm desperate, but come on, come on. It's embarrassing. It's honestly embarrassing. It's like me, on the touchline, trying to be helpful for my team, and then I look, and I'll throw just a random hypothetical scenario. It's like your team's 1-0 down, and your goalkeeper just plays a really bad back pass, and the ball comes out to an attacker, and your center back's coming in, and you're thinking, all right, yeah, he's gonna get the ball, but he just gets the man instead, and he looks around, like Mustafi, and he looks at the lines, and he goes, offside. You can imagine when I'm doing this. Oh, I'm pulling a Marino. I'm going, oh, the other, and the rep just goes, points right to the spot, and you already know. But yeah, thank you for watching, and wherever you're watching this in the world, have a great day, or as Una Emery would say, have a good evening. Una Emery, good evening.